Alrighty, so I just went and saw the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So let's just get on with it, shall we? So the story about this new Ghostbusters flick is actually more of a convoluted one than most of the other ones. It's not as simple and straightforward as the first, two-thirds of this movie is a, conspiracy trying to figure out what exactly is this orb and what does it do. And then the ending is them busting the ghosts. So it's an interesting story that I actually really enjoyed from a idea standpoint, but its execution of it is what is really messy, because this movie is split up into three different storylines that all intertwine very, very, in my opinion, fairly poorly in the end. The first storyline is the Phoebe, who is played by McKenna Grace, is not old enough to she's not legally an adult, so she can't technically be a Ghostbuster, and so then she goes off and makes a ghost friend, which cool, but they don't spend enough time together for me to get the implication that they were really friends, and so it rubs you the wrong way leading towards the end, because they think they have a better connection than they actually do. And then there's the storyline of this guy played by Kumail Nanjiani, who just brings in this super haunted orb. And another thing for spoiler reasons that I won't share until the absolute end of the video, where I have to share all these spoiler thoughts to really get my thoughts on the film properly, but I'm going to avoid that. And then there's this super haunted orb with Kumail Nanjiani that is just there, and he brings it in, and then that gets introduced. There's the second storyline, and then the third storyline is a mix of oh yes, the Ghostbusters are now a bigger organization, and here's the character from the last movie, and this is what Ernie Hudson Zeddemore is doing, and this is how Ray Stantz is connected to it all, Dan Aykroyd's Ray Stantz, and it's just so much going on that they could have really trimmed, and it didn't help. I truly think that one of these things could have been cut. I'll be more specific in the end when I'm talking about my thoughts and experience. But yeah, so the story I actually find fascinating. So I will give it a hand grenade score here on the story. Visually speaking, cinematics, as is usually the case, these Ghostbuster movies are amazing. I really love how these two newer ones from the 2020s both end the movie with the Ghostbusters and then the original Who You Gonna Call song. I love that. Makes for a great time. Fantastic fun time at the movies, so I'll have to give a hand grenade score there as well. Directing, no real pacing issues of sorts, but I just feel some shots could be cut, and some of the it could have been trimmed a little bit more. So I'll give directing a hot pocket score. Acting, I will give a hand grenade score. There's so many fun performances. I really like Paul Rudd's performance. Finn Wolfhard just sort of felt like he was there. The podcast character was an interesting inclusion, still following up from the previous installment. McKenna Grace's Phoebe is really good, as is usually the case. But yeah, acting, I'll give a hot pocket score. I don't know, it's not super noticeable, and you're not going to watch Ghostbusters for the acting, for sure. But now, final thoughts and experience. This is where I will be talking a bit of spoilers, and I have to say that there are three major things that really upset me about this movie, and that is just some of the stupid storylines about not making McKenna Grace's Phoebe a Ghostbuster. That was just so dumb. Because at that age, I think you can work with legal supervision, and it just creates a stupid storyline. I understand why they did it, but it's just so dumb to me, in my opinion. The second thing is the relationship between Phoebe and I believe it was Melody is the ghost friend that she makes. I liked that interaction. I liked how they met. I just wish that they were able to like deepen that relationship more. So, and there was one very unnecessary scene where it reveals that she is working with the big bad of the movie, and I'm like, don't show us that. Just make it a twist. Like, you watch a movie about Ghostbusters, you expect all the ghosts to be evil. So don't just straight up say that she's evil, and so it really ruins the twist at near the end where the big bad is finally released from this orb. And now, speaking about the big bad, my probably least favorite part about this is that Kumail Nanjiani's character is just a firebender for no real reason. There's no real purpose to him being a firebender, and it doesn't make sense in the world. And I already know that, whoa, what are you talking about? But, like, this is mysticism, and this movie is so, like, science-centric in, like, ghosts and ghost busting. I know that there's some mysticism elements to it, but, like, you bring in firebending now, and it's just so dumb in my opinion. And that's, like, the one thing I really did not enjoy about this film. But other than that, it's such an enjoyable time. But yeah, this movie's a certified hand grenade movie. That's all I really have to say. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below if you checked it out or not, tell me what your thoughts on the movie was, and other than that, I'll leave you guys to it.